The brackets were released this afternoon as we welcome in Rhett Boyd into the studio. Rhett, thanks for coming in on a Sunday night.
Hey, no problem. It's hard to believe that we're talking about tournament basketball, already. We still got a couple weeks left in the regular season, but hey, it's here, and why not talk about it?
We've been following this for a couple of weeks now. The Martin RPI determined the seeding for the brackets this year in the Northwest District, but there were a couple other changes to how the coaches were allowed to put themselves on those slots in the brackets.
Yeah, so the district decided to explore the Martin with the Martin RPI to really rank the teams according to their strength of schedule and quality wins that they've been able to obtain throughout the course of the season. And does it change in terms of how the coaches may have voted? Yeah, maybe. You might have a team or two, or this group maybe should be up, a slot or two, or maybe this team should be below a spot or two based on maybe what the coach's opinion would be. But, it is what it is. What I think what's good about it and why the coaches were interested or the schools were interested exploring it, it eliminates a lot of maybe the shenanigans that goes on when you vote in terms of a team that may be lower in the rankings. They might vote themselves higher than maybe what they should be to avoid playing one of those top teams, early on in the tournament. So it's something they wanted to explore. We'll see how it all plays out. But, we know what we know at this point. And at the end of the day, you got to throw the ball up and you got to win ball games. So, we'll see how it all plays out.
Let's take a look at the brackets, beginning with Girls Division I. This is the Lake District, and this has the top two seeds. Now, in years past, the top two seeds had to be on opposite sides of the bracket. They don't have to do that this year. Anthony Wayne, they're the number one seed. They're going to open up against Waite. Fremont Ross is the 2 seed, and the Little Giants will take on the winner of Clay Bowser. You also have a Northview Whitmer matchup in the sectional final, and Finley will take on the winner of Bowling Green Lima Senior.
Yeah, and when I look at that bracket, I look at the top half. We have Fremont Ross, the 2 seed, and if they get by Claire Bowser, which they should, they're going to play the winner of Northview and Whitmer. Well, Northview and Whitmer just played about a week and a half ago, and that was a 2-point ball game where Northview came away, victorious. And you got a Whitmer team that had just beat Fremont Ross just about 10 days ago. So the winner of that one is going to give Fremont a go. Fremont, maybe for the perimeter outside of Destiny Robinson, does not shoot the 3 very well. So if either one of those teams can really condense the paint and force jump shots, you might catch Fremont on an off night and come away with a victory and move on. So I think that's a very intriguing quadrant in that upper half.
Genoa Fostoria, your sectional sites for that district. Meanwhile, in the Central Catholic District for Division I, Start is the highest seed in this district. They're going to take on Wapconnett. That game will be at Rossford. Lake will be hosting the other sectionals, including perhaps an interesting matchup. Perrysburg, if they get past Ashland, will take on Notre Dame.
Yeah, and that game really intrigues me as well because Notre Dame, they've struggled to score the basketball this year, but Perrysburg in certain ball games has as well. And the question is then, can Perrysburg's young backcourt handle the pressure that Notre Dame puts on? Because Notre Dame does defend at a pretty good level. So that could be a very intriguing matchup. The winner gets Springfield. And if it's Perrysburg against Springfield, Perrysburg, when they played the first time, Perrysburg, it was a one-possession game. Perrysburg was on the short end of it, but it was just a one-possession game. And for Notre Dame, when they played Springfield a year ago, I think it was a double overtime game in the district semifinals. Both teams like to pressure, create turnovers. That'll be intriguing as well.
Yellow Jackets, the 5 seed. Division II, Rhett Boyd, Central Catholic, the number 1 seed. Erica Haney and company, they want to play right away, so they're going to open up against Woodward, that game at Liberty Center. Clay, the host for the other sectional site. Rogers, your 2 seed for Division II.
And I think the top 2 seeds get all the way through to the district final to have that Central versus Rogers matchup. Central Catholic's been outstanding all season long, and Rogers is one of those teams kind of maybe under the radar a little bit. We haven't, heard a lot about them this year, but what we do know is this: when they played Start in the first time this year, it was a 4-point ball game. So we know that Coach Lamar Smith is going to have his kids ready to play. We know they're going to compete at a high level. It's going to be physical, a possession ball game. Now the question is, can they handle that pressure that Central Catholic is going to put on them for 4 straight quarters? But I think that's the matchup we'll see. It should be a tough, hard-fought battle between those 2 teams, and we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, and Rogers Start rematch comes up later this week. Let's take a look at Division III quickly. Liberty Center, the number 1 seed in this district. They will take on the winner of Eastwood Ottawa Hills. Meanwhile, Northwood will take on Swanton in the opening round of that sectional. Moving on to Division IV, the Otsego District. Toledo Christian, the number 1 seed, as the Eagles will get a first-round bye, take on either Holgate or Emmanuel Christian. As Toledo Christian, they've been looking very good all season long. They've got their eyes not on just winning the district, but going even further, getting past that regional crown they haven't gotten past yet.
And I think they got a great opportunity to do that too, because I think Coach Wensink, outside of his league schedule, has really prepared this ball club playing teams like Springfield this season, going to Cleveland and playing Medina at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse and some other ones as well. Margaretta's one, and then this Tuesday night at Anthony Wayne. Sheila Christian, Anthony Wayne, one heck of a matchup. So his team is tested to make a deep run in the state tournament. So I think they get through this district bracket pretty easily.
And that game against Anthony Wayne could be a milestone night, as you've got not one but two Eagles on the verge of 1,000 points. We saw that a couple years ago with the boys' side.